Once in your life, you were taught to care deeply, to feel intensely, and to take everything to heart. This was your first mistake. Every broken heart, every betrayal, and every insult that caused you pain stemmed from this flaw. You allowed the world to invade your inner self. Niccolo Machiavelli did not act this way. He observed from a distance and studied people like a surgeon studies diseases, without emotion, with precision. He understood what the weak could never grasp. If you want peace, first destroy your sensitivity. You must learn to become impervious to love, hate, praise, and condemnation. No one will be able to hurt you when you are emotionally invisible. No one will be able to manipulate you if you do not feel what they expect. No one will be able to defeat you when your heart is unbreakable, and your mind is the only God you worship. This is not about being cold. It is about freedom. In this video, we will teach you how to escape emotional bondage and become your ultimate embodiment, a person whom no one can touch, a person whom Machiavelli would fear. You want to become invulnerable. You want to live in such a way that no betrayal, insult, or loss can affect you. But first, you must shatter the illusion that makes you weak, the belief that you matter to others. Most people go through life with a tragic misunderstanding. They think that if they are kind, honest, and loyal, others will treat them the same way, that their emotional openness will be met with care. But Machiavelli understood a darker truth. People do not act out of love. They act out of self-interest. Your value to others is conditional. You are important only to the extent that you provide benefit, and as soon as that benefit disappears, so does their loyalty. This is not cruelty. It is nature. The moment you accept this, you will begin to free yourself from emotional bondage. People suffer because they believe their pain is important to others. They take betrayal personally. They feel lost due to disrespect. But these actions are rarely about you. They are about what others can gain. Machiavelli would remind you that most of what people do to you is not personal, but strategic. If someone insults you, it is often to elevate themselves. If someone ignores you, it is to make you chase after them. If someone lies, it is because the truth does not serve their goals. And when you react, when you get angry, hurt, or tormented, you give them power. They see your weakness. They know they can reach you. This is how control works. If you want to be impervious to manipulation, stop giving people that access. Stop taking everything personally. Stop expecting justice. Stop thinking that people act out of conscience. Start observing. Start calculating. Ask yourself what this person gains by treating me this way, what role I play in their plans. This transition from emotional to strategic is the beginning of your strength. However, to become completely impervious, you must also eliminate the behaviors that betray you. Stop over-explaining yourself. People do not care about your reasons, they care about results. Stop seeking sympathy. Most people tolerate your pain only as long as they can use it. Cease sharing your doubts. Your wounds and your guilt are not truths worth displaying. They are tools that others can distort. Machiavelli would say, guard your inner world like a fortress. Speak less, show less, be impenetrable. The less they see, the less they can attack. This world does not reward emotional depth. It values emotional discipline. Most people are slaves to their feelings. They rise and fall depending on others' attention, approval, or rejection. You must build your value on something untouchable. When you no longer need validation, When praise does not inspire you and criticism does not break you, you become something rare, something dangerous. This is the moment you will find true freedom. You are not cold, you are calm. You are not indifferent, you are clear. And in this clarity, you will gain the highest power of indifference. Indifference is not carelessness, it is control. It is the ability to choose what deserves your reaction. It is the skill to walk away from everything that weakens you. It is the ability to say, "You can no longer influence me." Machiavelli said it is better to be feared than loved. But there is something greater: to fear nothing and expect nothing from others. This is how you become invulnerable. This is how you silence the world. This is how no one and nothing can influence you anymore. If you want to become truly invulnerable, you must destroy the second root of vulnerability. Most people yield to their feelings, although they pretend to be logical. They claim to be strong, but one insult breaks them. They assert they are self-confident, but one rejection shatters their self-perception. This is because they do not control themselves. Their emotions control them. Machiavelli understood that a ruler or any influential person must never yield to feelings. Emotion is weakness. Emotion is vulnerability. Emotion is a crack through which the enemy can penetrate. If someone can provoke your anger, they control your reaction. If someone can evoke your sadness, they control your spirit. And if someone can manipulate your guilt, they govern your decisions. You are not free if others can provoke a reaction from you. To be free, you must become emotionally disciplined, not dead, but directed. Use your emotions as tools, not as chains. If being charming is useful, use it. If silence instills fear, remain quiet. If anger creates fear, direct it. But never allow emotions to control you. Never let them burst out uncontrollably. Never let anyone see what truly affects you, because once that happens, they will use it against you. This world is not kind to openness. It values composure, mystery, and self-control. A person who feels everything loudly will always be under the control of those who feel nothing. Learn to sit with discomfort without reacting. Learn to hear insults without defending yourself. Learn to endure pain without acknowledgement. Most people seek a confidant to lighten their soul when they are hurting. They strive to unload their emotional burden onto another. This is a weakness disguised as sincerity. If you want to become strong, carry your pain yourself. Deal with your own chaos. Remain silent and restore your mind to unity. There is no honor in public vulnerability. There is only danger. The more you reveal, the easier it is to destroy you. As Machiavelli would say, be a fox among wolves. Smile when it is expected. Laugh when it is strategic. But do not trust anyone with your true feelings. Keep your real emotions hidden behind a mask. Let the world see only what it needs to see. You owe no one the truth of your experiences, because in reality, most people do not care. And those few who pretend to be caring will use it when it benefits them. Stop seeking emotional safety from others. Become your own safety. Stop needing someone to validate your feelings. Validate them yourself. Then suppress them until they are useful to you. Self-control is a weapon. The less you react, the more people fear you. The quieter you become, the more powerful you appear. There is strength in unpredictability. When people know how you will respond, they can prepare. But if you remain unpredictable, calm when you should be angry, silent when they expect outrage, and composed when they anticipate sadness, you gain psychological superiority. You become a mystery they cannot unravel, and in that confusion, they lose their advantage. The key is to train yourself. Emotional detachment is unnatural. It is built through repetition and self-discipline. Observe your triggers. Who affects you? What words provoke a reaction? What situations make you weak? Now destroy this pattern. When someone insults you, do not respond. When someone shows disrespect, let them speak into the void. When someone walks away from you, do not follow them. Learn to say nothing. Learn to do nothing. Let your silence scream, because silence is not weakness. Silence is control. Silence makes people think. It changes the power dynamics. The less you say, the more they project. The less you show, the more they fear. Machiavelli said that a wise person should appear merciful, loyal, and humane, but must be able to be the opposite when necessary. This emotional strength reveals what works and conceals what is real. Control is everything, and you cannot control the world until you learn to control yourself. If you want to become impervious to the world, you must master the environment in which you live. This means understanding people not as they pretend to be, but as they truly are. Most people walk in blind faith in masks. They trust words, judge by faces, confuse politeness with loyalty, and respect and emotion with truth. But Machiavelli knew better. He believed that most people are driven by ambition, fear, greed, or desire, even when they smile, even when they give compliments. They are always calculating. Everyone you meet has a motive: friend, ally, partner. Even those who seem kind are guided by their own interests. The mistake that weak people make is thinking, "He would never do that to me," or "She is not like everyone else." But the moment someone gains power over you, whether it is emotional, financial, or social, they change. Or rather, what was hidden is revealed. That is why trust is a dangerous thing. Not because betrayal is rare, but because it is the rule. If you are shocked when someone turns against you, it means you never truly understood that person. A Machiavellian person expects betrayal, plans for it, even uses it. Stop judging people by their words. Do not look at their habits. Do not ask what this person says. Ask what they avoid. Do not ask if they like you. Ask what they want from you. Every smile conceals a need. Every compliment has a motive. Once you train your mind to think this way, you will stop being disappointed, stop being bewildered, stop being naive. It is not about becoming paranoid. It is about becoming perceptive. You must become a person who listens in silence and observes from a distance, because most of what is real is never spoken aloud. People reveal themselves in small things, in how they speak about others, in how they treat those who have no status, in the envy they cannot hide when you achieve success. Learn to hear the subtext, to catch emotional triggers when someone says, "I do not care." Ask yourself what they gain from that concern. When someone promises, "I will never leave," think about what will happen when staying becomes uncomfortable. This is not cynicism, it is clarity. The world will try to shame you for such a perspective, calling you cold, distrustful, bitter. Let them. They fear those who cannot be deceived. A clear mind is not susceptible to manipulation, and that frightens those who rely on confusion to control others. Being Machiavellian does not mean rejecting human connections. You control your name, deciding who deserves your attention, who will gain access, and who will receive nothing. You owe trust to no one, It is earned slowly and lost quickly. Establish traps of silence, test their loyalty, and do not offer what you cannot afford to lose. Always remember, those who know less are the ones who lose. In any room, speak no more than necessary and less than you think. Let others underestimate you. They do so at their own risk. Let them consider you weak. This gives you an advantage. Never reveal all your cards. Do not explain your strategy. Make your life difficult to understand, and your thoughts even more unpredictable. This way, you will survive among liars, users, and cowards. You will become elusive, intangible. In the world of Machiavelli, the prince who trusts too easily falls first, but the one who observes the truth plays the game without ever revealing his cards. That is the one who will outlast them all. If you want peace, stop trusting appearances. If you want power, begin to study motives. If you want to be invulnerable, learn to predict betrayal before it occurs. A person who sees what is coming will never bleed, and that person you must become. If you want to reach the final stage of invulnerability, you need to address the most dangerous vulnerability: emotional dependence. Most people do not even realize how much they rely on others for their very sense of self. They base their worth on how they are seen, how they are treated, and how much attention or love they receive. And when that disappears, they collapse, panic, chase, and plead. This is not love. It is dependence. Machiavelli would say that a person who depends on the love of others will always be their servant. He will betray himself to maintain their approval. He will forsake reason for attention and give away his power for the illusion of belonging. You must break this cycle, becoming someone who is not emotionally dependent on anyone, neither on their love, nor on their time, nor on their praise. Build yourself in such a way that you remain the same, whether surrounded by people or completely alone, because in this world, you will sometimes be lonely. People will leave, change, and forget you. And when that happens, your strength must remain untouched. This strength must come from something internal, something intangible. You must build an inner world so powerful that nothing can shake it. This is not easy. It requires radical honesty. You need to ask yourself, who am I without recognition? Who am I when no one is watching? Most do not like the answers to these questions, which is why they chase distractions, relationships, attention, and praise. But Machiavelli would advise the opposite. He would tell you to go inward, to make your mind your kingdom, your thoughts your fortress, your standards and compass. When you stop relying on others for meaning, you become free. No one can take from you what they never had power over. This does not mean that you become a loner or a recluse. It means that your sense of identity is no longer up for discussion. You no longer need someone's love to feel loving. You do not need approval to believe in your worth. You do not need society to avoid silence. Most people fear silence because it reveals how weak their inner foundation is. They need noise to distract themselves from their emptiness. But silence is your test. If you can sit alone for hours with your thoughts, without panicking, striving, or crumbling, you become something dangerous. You become solid, still, and self-sufficient. This is, in essence, Machiavellian power: to need nothing, to own nothing, and to feel nothing that could be used against you. Build your discipline, your habits, a life so full that others become a bonus rather than a necessity. Stop outsourcing your happiness. Stop depending on someone else to feel whole. If someone gives you love, accept it, but never need it. If someone praises you, acknowledge it, but never chase it. The moment you start needing something from someone, you have already lost. The game is over, and you are no longer in control. People sense desperation. They will use it. They will control you with it. But when you do not need their approval, their love, or their presence, you become intangible. You become the one they are trying to impress, the one they are chasing. Because the one who needs nothing holds all the power. As I would say, always present yourself as others want to see you, but never let them know what you truly need. The best thing is to need nothing. Cleanse yourself of the habits that make you dependent. Kill the habits that make you emotionally weak. Learn to walk alone not because you reject others, but because you no longer crumble without them. This is your strength, when your identity is forged in unity and your world is built on your own terms. You become invulnerable. They can come and go, love you or not, praise you or forget you. It will not matter because you never belonged to them to be broken. Now you understand what it takes not just to survive, but to become invulnerable, to walk through this world untouched by its noise, invulnerable to betrayal, indifferent to praise, and imperceptible to all who try to control you. What you are building is not just strength, it is sovereignty. You are no longer just a person in the crowd, begging to be noticed, chasing recognition, fearing rejection. Now you are something else, something rare, a quiet power, a presence that cannot be manipulated, broken, or moved. And it happened. Not through violence or high-mindedness, but through control over your thoughts, control over your reactions, control over your needs. Because in a world where everything is governed by emotions, the one who controls themselves controls everyone. Machiavelli did not write for the moral person. He wrote for the person who wants to win. And to win in this world, you cannot play by the rules written for sheep. You must see reality as it is. Cold, strategically cruel. You must stop expecting it to be kind and start using its cruelty as fuel. You do not need to shout. You do not need to threaten. You do not need to explain yourself. The strongest person in the room is the one who says nothing. Because they do not need to prove anything. They already know, they already see, they already possess the outcome in their mind. Let others run around wildly with their emotions. Let them chase status, attention, and chaos. You remain still, observe, and react only when it matters. And when you make a move, make it definitive, precise, silent. The king never argues, the king never reacts, the king chooses, the king commands. This is who you become when nothing else matters to you. And you must understand that being invulnerable does not mean feeling nothing. It means controlling what deserves your emotions and what deserves your silence. It means that your mood is not dictated by people who do not matter. It means that your decisions are not shaped by fear, guilt, or desire. It means that your world is not a prize that others give you. It is a throne that you have built yourself. There will be people who try to pull you back into weakness, and they will say that you have changed, that you are too distant, too cold, too selfish. Let them talk. Let them leave. Let them choke on expectations that you never agreed to bear. You owe no one your vulnerability. You owe no one your world. Your life is not a service for the comfort of others. It is a battlefield. And now you are trained for war. Every insult ignored, every betrayal anticipated, every loss endured in silence. You are now invulnerable because you chose to be so through discipline, through the rejection of emotional slavery, through brutal honesty with yourself. You killed your weakness before the world could use it against you. And that is true freedom. Machiavelli once said that it is better to be feared than loved, but what he really meant was that it is better to be in control, better to be prepared, better to be invulnerable because love fades and loyalty crumbles. But control remains. Control is the root of all power, and now it is yours. You are no longer the person who breaks at the first signs of chaos. You are the one who walks straight into it, unflinching, calm, cold, confident. You are no longer subject to storms. You are the storm, and no one and nothing can influence you anymore.